Jade Blair here, independent legal escort and OnlyFans creator. Let's just get into it. So this month we're talking about this week we're talking about my third month on OnlyFans. So that was April 2023. April was an interesting month. I did lose money compared to March, my second month. Basically, a few things happened in April. One was that I had gone to Sydney with one of my clients. He flew me out to Sydney. We watched a concert. It was a lot of fun. We went to the zoo. I was still kind of like recovering from the previous month where I'd gone to World Pride in Sydney. In April, I just felt so flat and so exhausted. It took me so long to recover from Sydney. We didn't even do that much. Like, we didn't do a lot of partying. I'm just a very introverted person. So I think I just needed to like sit at home and kind of do nothing. So I don't feel like I was working quite as much as I could or should have. I do believe it was in April that I started taking TikTok a little bit more seriously though. So I was still advertising on my Twitter. That was going quite well. And then we started up TikTok as well. I joined a group made by another creator where you pay a little bit of money and she would send us all like the trending TikTok sounds for that day, week, whatever it was. Which was really helpful in one way because it helped me learn the platform, learn like what trending is and how it works on TikTok, but also took a lot of that creative responsibility off me because she would just send us heaps and then I could just pick a couple that I wanted to do every day, or I could film them all in one hit and then slowly publish them on TikTok throughout the week. So I wasn't thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do on TikTok? What am I going to do? But a lot of it was thirst traps and I just wasn't getting really anywhere with them. I was making a little bit of traction. I was getting views. I don't think I was making the money back that I was paying to subscribe to her service for the whole of April. And I don't think that had anything to do with her or like her recommendations. Her recommendations were good. I think the problem was I was taking someone else's brand and trying to use it as my own, which didn't work because I wasn't picking the sounds myself. I wasn't curating them for me. I was just doing whatever was kind of there and easy. So it didn't really fit my personality or my brand. So I was getting views and getting subscribers, but not enough to kind of pay back for that subscription service. But we did start up on TikTok. We were continuing on Instagram, posting a couple photos a day. We weren't doing reels yet. And I believe April was when I stopped posting on Reddit. So I've talked in my other videos about how I was posting heaps on Reddit and I was getting nowhere. I just stopped in April. It was too much. I was using a subscription service called Social Rise to basically schedule all of my Reddit posts. I wasn't even making that money back. So I just stopped like overnight and canceled my subscription. So really it was TikTok, Twitter, and my escorting adverts also had like my OnlyFans link on them as well. So that was mostly how I was promoting. So I wasn't doing a whole heap, to be honest. And I think I fell down a lot in making pay-per-views. So before I went to World Pride, I made heaps of pay-per-views so that they would last me over my holiday so I wouldn't have to film. Basically, I used all those up on my holiday and being sick after, and I just, because I was so exhausted, I just didn't get back into the routine of making heaps of them. I did make some, but not heaps. So I think the the content for subscribers, like on the feed, was fine and unaffected, but the pay-per-view wasn't there. So we did not make very much money there, but we'll get into the numbers. So gross in American dollars, what I made on OnlyFans before they take their cut, so gross, was $2,428 for April. So net in American dollars after OnlyFans took their 20%, it was $1,942. So in Australian dollars, so that's what I actually received in my bank account, that was $2,910. So I made about $200 less than March, which sucks, but I mean, kind of to be expected. If you're not putting in the work, you're not going to get the results. I mean, it is what it is. It's not as bad of a decrease as I was worried it would be. I was still getting a lot of subscribers. Like I said, my feed was unimpacted. I was still posting every day. It was really just the pay-per-view that I fell down on. And I was still posting on Twitter, which is where a lot of my subscribers were coming from. I was telling all of my in-person clients about my OnlyFans. It was on all my ads. So I was still having that subscriber base. But yeah, I really fell down in that pay-per-view. Whoops. So of that, in American dollars, $1,942 net that I made. Subscriptions was 1,348, so the bulk of it. Pay-per-views were 522. So a massive, massive drop from 820 that I got for pay-per-views in the previous month. I didn't get any tips. I did no customs or anything that day, that month. And fans, I had a total of 132 fans compared to 192 in the previous month. So everything pretty much just dropped down. I wish I had more to say, but really it was just my own fault. You've got to work to make it work. But I do think it's important when you are particularly in the sex industry to also take time for yourself. I was so exhausted. I really needed days where I literally just sat in bed and did nothing. Sex work is incredibly emotionally exhausting. Both in person and online, you are emotionally giving away a lot of yourself. You are being very vulnerable. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. There are lots of jobs where people are emotionally vulnerable and we don't tell them, oh, it's evil. But I think really it's been a few months of me recognizing and really trying to look after my mental health. While all of this was happening, I was dealing with my ADHD. So I was on various medications. Every single month, my psychiatrist has switched up my medication. And that has caused me to go through a lot of emotional changes because stimulant medication can help alleviate depression, but it can give you quite bad anxiety. And unfortunately, I got the anxiety part. So in April, that would be my 4th month of trying a new stimulant or a new dosage of a stimulant, and all of them were causing me anxiety. I think April was when I kind of started just to get to my breaking point of I can't take any more of this medication induced anxiety. Get me out. So I think that also reflected in my productivity. I was just really anxious all the time for no reason. Thankfully that problem is now resolved, but a lot of these drugs are trial and error. And yeah, you just got to try it to see if it works. But yeah, that is what I earned in April. When I had first started this journey, I'd always just wanted it to be a side hustle. It was never meant to be my main source of income. So I was like upset that it was going down, but you know, it wasn't the end of the world, you know, because it was just a side hustle and almost $3,000. Like I almost made $3,000 in a month. Like that's a pretty good side hustle, if I want to say so myself. So all in all, pretty good. Wish I had done better, but is what it is. And yeah, I kept learning on from there. So I will keep you updated on May and June, which just finished, in the next videos. But if you liked this video, if you found it helpful, subscribe, comment, like, really appreciate it. I have all my links underneath if you want to see my OnlyFans or get to know me more, or if you're a creator and are just starting your OnlyFans page, feel free to sign up to OnlyFans using my referral link. It doesn't cost you anything, but it definitely helps me out and I would appreciate it. But until then.